वेलकम टू स्पेशल एजुकेशन विद हामिद नकवी। अपने नौजवान स्पेशल एजुकेटर्स को पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन के इम्तिहान की तैयारी के सिलसिले में ये एक पंजाब पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन का 2019 का पेपर तैयारी के लिए पेश किया जा रहा है। तो आए शुरू करते हैं। ये रिटन टेस्ट था जो जूनियर स्पेशल एजुकेशन टीचर फिजिकली हैंडिकैप्ड के बेसिक पे स्केल 16 के लिए हुआ और ये 20 फरवरी 2019 को लिया गया। पहला सवाल, द बेसिक लेवल ऑफ एक्स्ट्रा हेल्प इज नोन एज स्कूल एक्शन, स्कूल इंटरेक्शन, स्कूल एजुकेशन, स्कूल प्लानिन। जो बड़े फॉन्ट में लिखा गया होगा वो करेक्ट आंसर होगा, दैट इज स्कूल एक्शन। What are the categories of exceptionality with regard to special children? Learning disabilities, mental retardation, behavioral disorders, all of these is correct answer जी। बड़े फॉन्ट में आप देख रहे हैं इसको। Stuttering is a disability, विजन की है, स्पीच की है, हियरिंग की है, वॉकिंग की है। बड़े फॉन्ट में नजर आ रहा है जी, स्पीच की है। What is meant by labeling in special education? बड़े फॉन्ट में है जी, practice of categorizing individuals. Other options were code for the specific quality of a student, socializing of the students, marking and ranking the students. Next question ji. Disfluencies occur most often between ages 1 and 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 9 years. Answer is 5 years. Ideologies related to low vision disability, physical, mentally retarded, or hearing loss? Obviously, hearing loss. The term trumpet student is commonly used for special education, general education, both A and B, and none of these. Special education ji. If you use a shortened process of searching for a job, is it likely you are rather than maximized in your decision process? Minimize, rationalize, satisfied, agreed. It is satisfied is correct. If there are issues containing information that is ambiguous and incomplete, such as what kind of technology to purchase, these are known as problems poorly structured. Variable, random, hit and miss. Correct is poorly structured. Which one of the following is a sum total of habits, traits, and characteristics of an individual? Crowd, subgroup, personality, attitude. Correct is personality. When a customer calls and requests a refund for a partial month's usage of cable, the fact that such situations are routine and most likely to have a standard response would make the response a decision: standard, routine, policy, or programmed. It is programmed. Sometimes a person follows a sequential step for responding to a structured problem: rule, desired, procedure, suggestion. It is procedure. Departmentalization is based on territory or physical location. Functional, product, geographic, matrix. Correct is geographic. During orthoptics orthoptists, ophthalmologists, and optometrists typically use a cover test to aid in diagnosis of strabismus. Neurological examination, Rin test examination, I or Weber test. It is B, Rene test examination. Next question is a person whose visual acuity is or less in the better eye after best possible correction with glasses or contact lens is considered legal blind. 20 by 200, 25 by 200, 30 by 200, 40 by 200. It is first one, 20 by 200 is legally blind. UNESCO has one of its many promising activities, a campaign to provide education for all adults of member nations, universal, a free, compulsory primary education, free education to those who desires it, and indoctrination against the dangers of communism. Correct one is the first one, Ji. Suppose a child has hearing impairment, but you have no idea about him. What will your duty toward the child? Recognize the child and manage accordingly. You become neutral because it is not your headache. You send him to the specialist for treatment. You report to teachers and parents and principals to send him to a special school. Correct is the first one, Ji. A student belongs to a very poor family. The student therefore is unable to pay tuition fee for private coaching, but he is eager to get some of his problems solved. What provision will you make for the student? Give extra time to him? Refuse to solve his problem as you have no spare time? Creating a terror in him? Not giving ears to his request. First one is correct, Ji. Disruption of the endolph due to jerky movements like spinning around or driving or bumps while riding in a car can cause motion sickness, seasickness, decompression sickness, air sickness. First one is correct. The inner ear consists of and several non-auditory structures. Last one, cochlea is correct. All of the following are types of medical technologies for deaf and hard of hearing persons except captions, in-the-canal hearing aids, digital hearing aids, cochlear implants. First one is correct. The most common known cause of deafness is prematurity, heredity, and genetics, cytomegalovirus, or trauma. Second one is correct, that is heredity and genetics. A child with a mild hearing loss has a hearing loss of approximately in decibel 55 dB, 90 dB, 40 dB, and 30 dB. Which one is the correct one? C is correct, 40 dB. 24. How teachers accommodate inclusive environment for deaf and hard of hearing students? Correct one is C, that is articulate clearly but not louder. Complete ossification of labyrinth occurs by 12 weeks, 23 weeks, 28 weeks, and 26 weeks. Correct one is 23 weeks. Next is the 26th question is interference with or infection of the labyrinth can result in a syndrome of ailment called otitis meningitis, labyrinthitis, mastoiditis. Correct one is CG. 27. The anatomical position is characterized by all of the following except palms facing posterior is correct. Another term for pars facida is last one, that is shrapnel's membranes, which is four symptoms of a balance disorder. Correct one is feeling of falling. In terms of their anatomy, auditory nerve fibers are bipolar, with the most distal portion being called the peripheral process and the central projection being called these two projections are also known as the peripheral axon and the central axon. Correct one is the DG. The lining of tympanic cavity is called B. Mucous membrane. Which of these parts of the body plays a key role in balance? Labyrinth. The foot plate rests in the round window, square window, oval window, tympanic membranes. Correct one is D. The lowest level of learning in affective domain is attending, which is placed at the highest level of learning in affective domain. Correct one is last one, characterization. The idea that basic education is education through crafts, true to some extent only because the concept is deeper. Last one is correct. The term prejudice in person is colored by, the first one is correct, a hasty judgment about a situation with an unfavorable judgment. Suppose you are teaching in a minority college where casteism and narrow-mindedness victimize you. For better adjustment there, you should do the first one. Uplift the humanistic values beyond these narrow walls and develop scientific temper in your students. Next question is the standard deviation of a statistic is called the standard error. फिर देख लें. Which of the following is a constitutive definition of self-esteem? Third one, the number of times the subject makes a statement of self-worth. A hypothesis can be described as, fourth one is correct, a prediction of some sort regarding the possible outcomes of a study. Someone eventually finds a problem that has no cut and dry situation. The problem is unique and will never occur again. This problem is referred to as, last one is correct, non-programmed. When we classify managers according to their level in the organization, they are described as, correct one is top managers, middle managers, and supervisors. All of the following are primary management functions except second one, hiring employee. Many business schools professors make use of the case method of teaching, in which students are asked to solve various types of business problems. Which managerial skills are most likely to be developed using this teaching method? Third one, diagnostic and analytical. Early theories about how individual makes decisions were based on concept of. Third one, economic man. A manager is someone who, number three, sets the goals of organizations. That is correct one. The concept of power refers to defined authority and responsibility organization. The correct one is C, the ability to influence the behavior of others. From management point of view, human relations are very important because they contribute to organizational effectiveness. First one is correct. You have to be motivated and established goals. All of the given options, all three are correct. Which of the following statements about middle managers is not true? C. The number of middle managers in the most organization is increasing. Which of the following is or true about organizational communications? Last one, focus on employee. Are responsible for carrying out the decisions and objectives that are developed by middle level managers. Both A and B are correct. The difference between intended and dash meaning is called misunderstanding. Intended and perceived. Last one is correct. Is not an example of a title of middle manager. First line is correct. Strategic organizational issues related to employees' compensation include all the following except the last one. Which of the following roles is categorized as decision roles? Third one, resource allocator. A vertical thinker looks for one best solution to a problem. In contrast, seeks to find many possible solutions to a problem. The correct one is first one, lateral thinker. A universally accepted model of what a successful manager looks like would be described as. Second one is correct one who executes all of the roles in a professional manner. All of the following are the characteristics of type A personality. B, easygoing. Income that is saved and not invested is a deposit. European Union consists of, number 2 is correct, 28 members. KGB was the National Security Agency of, correct one is Soviet Union. Who was the surgeon who pioneered antiseptic surgery? Joseph Lister. Stare decisis is essentially doctrine of precedent. Number 2 is correct. Which country is the largest producer of platinum? First one, South Africa. A country traditionally known for its neutrality. Switzerland. Which is the sport most commonly associated with Spain? Second one, bullfighting. London is situated on the bank of river Thames. It's not Thames, it is Thames. Maulana Muhammad Ali Jauhar had started publishing his famous English newspaper Comrade from the year. First one is correct, 1911. What was the significance of 21st annual session of India Muslim League? Second one, Allama Iqbal delivered Allahabad Address. Which of the following leaders helped Quaid-i-Azam in the preparation of his 14 points? Maulana Muhammad Ali Jauhar. First one is correct. Under Gandhi Irwin Pact of 5th March 1931, it was decided. Last one is correct. The Congress will call off its civil disobedience movement. In the provincial elections of 1937, All India Muslim League won largest numbers of seats. UP province. First one. First telecom company in Pakistan, Zong. In its 2018 Freedom on the Internet report, the democracy watchdog Freedom House scored Pakistan out of 100, 73. The UN report highlights that Pakistan's only children were getting a minimal acceptable diet. Correct one is just 4%. Which country protested over bus service between Pakistan and China? Unfortunately, India. Which two countries offered asylum to Asia Bibi? France and Spain. Asia Bibi was accused of committing blasphemy in June 2009. Identify the last Ghazwa in which the Holy Prophet participated, Tabuk. The police force by the name of Ash-Shota was set up to maintain law and order in the Islamic State during the Caliphate of. Second one is correct. Hazrat Umer Farooq. Under the Islamic law of an inheritance, what would be the share of the wife from husband's property? 1/8. Last one. Identify the Muslim ruler who introduced jail system for detention of prisoners. Hazrat Umer. Identify the Muslim ruler who instituted the Islamic Calendar for the year of Holy Prophet, migration to Medina. Again, Hazrat Umer. Which Prophet of Allah is dignified? Special title, Khalilullah, Hazrat Ibrahim. Man is still in the labor market. Commodity. Only teamwork in country can change the existing circumstances. Bring about. I think is used to be good school, but it has been for 20 years or so. Rest on one's laurels. He is looking for someone to offer her glamorous, well-paid, and undemanding job, but I think he is. Number 2 is correct. Cry for the moon. He says he will get a well-paid job, but I think it is just तीसरा ठीक है, pie in the sky. The factory workers' decisions to strike was for factory owners a smack in the eye. दूसरा correct है. In their search for artifacts, archaeologists are often not because a suspected site is remote and isolated, but because it is frustrated and urbanized. No sooner had the meeting ended, the crowd dispersed. No sooner than. Which of the following is not necessary for a stand-alone computer? LAN card. What is the term used to denote the unauthorized and illegal accessing of computer program, often with criminal intent? Hacking. Hard disk in a computer is an storage device, a set of instructions that operate various parts of the computer hardware is called software. मौलाना जलालुद्दीन रूमी का मज़ार कोनिया में है। कोनिया किस मुल्क का शहर है? तुर्की। दर्जयाल अशार किसके है? जो रुके तो कोई गरां थे हम, जो चले तो जहाँ से गुजर गए। राह यार हमने कदम कदम तुझे यादगार बना दिया। फैज़ अहमद फैज़। Best of luck to you all. Stay blessed.